The NBA is full of great moments, great players, but to be considered one of the greatest of all time, you have to hit great shots. And I don't mean shots that are cool, I mean game winners. Greatest of all time shots. Mamba mentality shots. You put the ball in the hands of a shooter, an assassin, Kobe, LeBron, Paul Pierce, Steph Curry, and sometimes just a random player that gets his name etched in history forever because he hit that one shot. These are legendary game winners made by the elite, baby. Let's get down to it. Damian Lillard and the Portland Trail Blazers versus the Houston Rockets. It's the first round of the playoffs. Portland leads 3-2. The score, Houston 98, Portland 96. 1 second left on the clock, no problem. Damian is beyond the arc, runs to the inbound pass asking for the ball. Those that ask shall receive. As Dame catches the ball, he throws up a quick three. As time expires, the ball is still in midair. All anybody on the court can do is watch and wait, just like the fans. And it goes in. Portland wins the series and sends Houston packing. Call Damian the Terminator because he killed the Rockets, like Arnold Schwarzenegger killed robots. It's a shame my guy Damian has never been to the finals. He carried Portland on his back for the past 10 seasons, just for the front office to smack him in the face. But my man has loyalty in his DNA. He's from the old generation where you don't jump ship. Unlike some superstars, Kevin Durant. All jokes aside, Portland front office, Dame has put his heart into the city. So if you can't put a contender around him this late in his career, trade him, period. Kawhi Leonard and the Toronto Raptors versus the Philadelphia 76ers. Game 7 in the playoffs. The score is tied, 90 points apiece for both teams. 4 seconds left on the clock. The ball's in the Claw's hand. Kawhi, he's beyond the arc and decides to take it on the other side of the arc. Oh, I forgot to mention, he's being guarded by Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid. No problem for the Claw. He puts up the off-balance corner three. The ball starts bouncing on the rim 2 times. Is it going in? Is it going out? The anticipation! So Kawhi decides to take a squat and wait. Jimmy Butler and Tobias Harris can't do anything but stare from the paint. This 76ers team was stacked, and Jimmy Butler still left for the Heat. The Heat are balling with undrafted players, my guy, and are about to make it to the finals before the 76ers. The 76ers fumbled the bag, letting Jimmy go. Back to the story. The 76ers still lost as the ball went in. And Kawhi, the whole Toronto bench and arena jumped for joy. My guy Joel cried for days after that one. No worries, Joel. I understand you. Kawhi is good at crushing the hopes and dreams of NBA teams and their fan base. He did it to my Spurs, too. Took me years to get over that one. Now he's doing it to the Clippers, except this time it's because he can't win. Ouch. Should have stayed in Toronto with Drake Kawhi. Now you're riding through Los Angeles with your woes. You know how that stuff goes. Michael Jordan and the Chicago Bulls versus the Utah Jazz. The legendary Michael Jordan going for his 6th ring. Less than 10 seconds on the clock. The score, Utah 86, Chicago 85. Guarded one-on-one with a defender beyond the arc. Michael drives to the paint, steps back and shakes the defender. Wide open shot. The whole Utah team can only watch as their season comes to an end without a ring because Michael hits the easy bucket. Make me like Mike, the legend killer, because defending superstars is what he does. Bye-bye, John Stockton and Karl Malone. Derrick Rose and the Chicago Bulls versus the Cleveland Cavaliers. It's the Eastern semifinals, tied 1 game apiece. Which team's going to be up 2 games? Chicago and Cleveland tied at 96, 3 seconds left on the clock. D. Rose gets the inbound pass, takes it to the other side of the arc. 1 defender in his face, no problem. 3-point splash, over at the buzzer. My guy D. Rose was built differently in the Chicago days. If he never went down with that nasty injury, he probably would have been a top 5 player to this day, maybe even a championship too. LeBron James and the Cleveland Cavaliers versus the Minnesota Timberwolves. The score is tied, 138 points each, 1 second left on the clock. LeBron versus Jimmy Butler, mid-range territory. LeBron hits a step back over Jimmy, easy bucket for the game winner. If LeBron tried that with Jimmy now, it wouldn't be such an easy shot. Playoff Jimmy is built different. Minnesota really fumbled the bag letting Jimmy go. Should have rebuilt the team around him. How's that championship run going with Karl Anthony Towns? Oh, and Rudy Gobert. Better luck next time. LeBron James and the Cleveland Cavaliers versus the Toronto Raptors. It's the playoffs. The Cavs are up 2-0. It's Game 3. The score is tied at 103. 6 seconds on the clock. LeBron starts at his end of the court. He takes it all the way to Toronto territory and puts up a one-handed floater. Talk about a dagger to end the game. He didn't even try to pass the ball. My guy had no faith in his teammates. This last play wasn't 5-on-5. It was a game of 1-on-5, and the Raptors still lost. Sorry, Toronto, maybe next time. Jeremy Lamb and the Charlotte Hornets versus the Toronto Raptors. The year's 2018. The Raptors are up by 2. The score, Toronto 114, Charlotte 112. 1 second left on the clock. Jeremy Lamb loses the ball at half court. No problem. Jeremy picks up the ball and shoots. The basketball gods answer. It goes in! Jeremy Lamb had his moment of fame against a Kawhi-led Raptors team. Talk about special. Damian Lillard and the Portland Trail Blazers versus the Oklahoma City Thunder. The playoffs. Portland leads the series 3-1. It's Game 5. Tie game, 115 points each. 3 seconds left on the clock. Damian with the ball in his hands, defended by Paul George. Easy money. Damian puts up a long-range 3, and it goes in, sending OKC home packing. Let's be honest, OKC was never the right place for Paul George. He should have just stayed in Indiana. Kobe Bryant and the Los Angeles Lakers versus the Miami Heat. Miami's up by 2. The score, Miami 107, Lakers 105. Kobe takes the ball to the other side of the arc. Dwayne Wade as the defender. 0.5 seconds on the clock. Kobe throws up a running 3, and he banks it in. Lakers for the win. With the Mamba mentality. DeMar DeRozan and the Chicago Bulls versus the Indiana Pacers. Chicago's down by 1. The score, Chicago 105, Indiana 106. 2 seconds left on the clock. DeMar with the ball in his hands, beyond the arc. What can you do with 2 seconds left on the clock? Most players take the L, but not DeMar. He pushes into the defender for the 3. Buzzer beater heater. Toronto fumbled the bag, letting DeMar go. All for Kawhi and 1 championship? Yikes. You could have had the same end goal and still kept your player. DeMar DeRozan and the Chicago Bulls versus the Washington Wizards. Chicago's down by 2. The score, Chicago 17, Washington 119. 2 seconds left on the clock. The ball's in DeMar's hands. 2 defenders in his face. Pump fakes the first defender beyond the arc. And before the second can block the ball, he shoots up a 3. And it goes in for the win. Seriously, my guy DeMar has clutch in his DNA and loyalty. How can you trade a guy like that who shows up day and night and doesn't ride the bench? I hope he has a long career in Chi-Town. Dwayne Wade and the Miami Heat versus the Chicago Bulls. Double overtime. The score is tied 127 apiece. 6 seconds left on the clock. The ball's in Chicago's hands. Easy win, right? Wrong. The Chicago player drives into the paint and loses the ball. It gets stolen by Dwayne Wade. Dwayne takes it down the court and puts up the game-winning 3. My guy D-Wade was something special and a perfect fit for the Miami Heat. But who helped put it all together? Pat Riley, the genius. Some even call him the Godfather. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Till next time, peace and stay elite.